Hey everyone, today we're going to go ahead and talk about how I prep for the next Wheel of Time book. So the Wheel of Time series is so long. All these books are at least 600 pages. This one's 630. Most of them are closer to 1,000 pages. And there's so many details in this book, you have to be really careful that you don't miss details. Now, my recommendation for such a long series like this one, it's 15 books, is to take little breaks. But if I take a break, how on earth do I remember all the details? So the way I remember the details is by watching some other content creators that I would love to plug. So here are my favorites. First is Daniel Green. His content is kind of old. Some of the earlier books he made a new one, but he has really great insights. But you have to be really careful. If you're a little spoiler sensitive, I do not recommend these summarized videos. I only recommend the earlier ones. The next one is Cam Reads. I really like his humor, and I really like that he is also a Perrin lover like I am. That's one of the reasons why I'm so excited for the next book, because I've heard it's Perrin heavy. I'm excited. Then the next one is my favorite booktuber, Mike's Books Reviews. So he isn't the biggest fan of all of the books, but I really like how he breaks down reviews. His are also really old though. And then finally, my best Wheel of Time recommendation is the podcast The Wheel Weaves. So the podcast The Wheel Weaves is a couple, and I've plugged them on my channel before. They're a couple where the husbands read the series a lot of times, and the wife has never read them before, so they're going through each book and talking about it chapter by chapter. I think they do normally a chapter or two at one time. And so what I do is I read and then I listen to them. So when I'm prepping for a new book, like I am now, I might re-listen to some of their podcasts to remind me about some details. So they go very, very in-depth while not spoiling anything. So they're probably the best resource you got. So I know this book series is incredibly intimidating. A lot of my friends don't want to get into it because it's so long. This is a way to make it a lot more bite-sized. Go through a book, read just one book. I do 4 books a year, so I have 3 months to read this. So I don't have to feel any pressure, and if I finish it in a month or 2, then I get a break. And so it's not as overwhelming. So I highly recommend this. Don't think of it as a race. Don't read like a race. I think you should read like a marathon. Go slow. Look at details, review details using these resources. Sorry, there was a car with really loud music. But on my channel, I'm gonna start adding reviews of these books myself. So I will review each one, and then when I finish the last book, I'll go back and start reviewing the earlier ones. I'm sorry I haven't been doing that since the beginning, but I didn't have this channel when I started the Wheel of Time. So I hope you really enjoyed this. Here's some really good ideas on how to review for your next big fantasy book. It doesn't have to be Wheel of Time. It could be Stormlight Archive. It could be Malazan. It could be any of these. So these are just some really good resources. And I hope y'all have a great reading week.